This is Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. Today, we're going to be talking about knowing your value. And our personal value is so important. It's important for us to know who we are, it's important to know that we possess value inside of ourselves. And with this life, sometimes it gets to be about money and other people and other relationships, and we forget about our own personal value. So, I did want to say that to know your personal value and know that you are worth it. And not everybody is going to appreciate you and esteem you as a person that's very valuable. But it's important for us to work on our relationship with ourselves, our own friendship with ourselves. Yes, that is so important. And when we learn how to know our own personal value, it's not only going to help our self esteem, our confidence, our self love, self respect, but it's also going to affect the decisions that you make. Because when you know your personal value, you're not going to walk around settling for less than you deserve. You're going to highly esteem yourself. You're going to not do things that would mess up your mental, emotional, physical, and financial and spiritual health. You're going to think about those things because when you value yourself, when you respect yourself, you're going to make different moves. So, we're just going to be talking here today about 4 things that we can do to know your value. And the first thing I want to talk about in knowing your value is know what you're good at. What is your worth when it comes to your personal talents. And every single human being possesses a talent, but it are you really working on the quality of your talent, the quality of your craft, the quality of what you do naturally? It just comes naturally to you. And I want to encourage all of my motivators family today and to say that to highly esteem, value what you're good at. And don't let anybody make you look down on that, to be ashamed, to be embarrassed, to hold back from doing what you are meant to do. And that took a long time for me. I can only speak for myself. It took me a long time for me to be able to say, I'm good at that. And that's my personal gift. And each woman or man has to have their own walk in this life and find what they're good at, know where their value lies within what they naturally are disposed to doing. So, I just want to give some encouragement to the Motivators family. Don't allow other people to get you off track from your talents. Yes, you are a talented individual, and whatever it is that you do, you need to receive that and then work on the quality of what you do. Yes, it means spending quality time on working on it, encouraging it, improving it, and when we do that, it makes us feel good because we're staying in our lane and minding our own business and knowing what we're capable of doing. And for me, working on my talents, it brings me joy, it brings me peace. And you can't get that from anybody else. When you walk within your talents, it also gives you that peace of mind every single day because you feel like you're refreshed because you're not forcing things or you're not doing things that's very stressful. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And yes, that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to know your personal value. It takes a lot of courage to use your gifts. It sure does. Because the fallback thing is to do what other people do, or to do what maybe your relatives, your parents, friends, spouse, significant other, whoever is in your life. It's easier to please people than to really look inside and say, you know what, this is what I'm good at. and I'm going to do it. And sometimes the things that we love to do, it may not be our life's work, but it may be a hobby that keeps our mental health. It's something that we enjoy in our leisure time. But every single one of us has to know that we are valuable. And I wanted to encourage all of my motivators family today and to say that to you all, because maybe the people around you are not showing you that sort of appreciation, or to give you that applause and congratulate you and to really encourage you. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know their own personal value, so they don't know how to be supportive of another person. They don't know how to be encouraging because they're not encouraged. They don't know how to clap for you because maybe they're jealous. They don't know how to be there for you because they're not there for themselves. But that is the reason why each individual, each man and each woman has to find that relationship with themselves. And I've said this many, many times, that we each need to work on the relationship that we have with ourselves. We have to work on being our own best friend. And that's something that nobody can give to you, no matter how much people you have in your life, how much people claim that they love you. The first love, you got to start with yourself. You got to start with you, because if you are not confident, if you do not esteem yourself, if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, if you don't think that you're capable of doing things, then you're not going to be able to get anywhere in this life. You're always going to live and teeter-totter between other people's opinions, and your opinion, it counts. Yes, other people's opinions count, but not more than ours, you know. And that's what I always talk about all the time, working on your own relationship with yourself. And it took a very long time for me to be able to say, not only do I like myself, do I like my own company, but loving yourself and developing that relationship. Just like every relationship in this life is based on time you spend together, getting to know their quality, personality, the same application has to be made for ourselves. It's a part of our self-awareness. It's a part of our personal development to form a relationship with yourself. It means spending some time alone. It means talking to yourself, asking those really in-depth questions like, how am I doing? What am I good at? What have I been through? And what have I overcome? What have I learned about myself? How have I grown and matured? All of that really helps with finding personal value within ourselves. And if we can't find personal value within ourselves, how can other people? So it's something that on a regular basis, we have to continuously work on loving ourselves. We have to continuously work on that personal friendship, that personal relationship with yourself, and listening when that voice inside your head tells you to slow down or to speed up. Because if you're anything like me, there are many times where we ignore that voice in our head that tells us it's time to take a break and to get rest. And that is the second part of knowing your value, is you have to know, you have to be able to decipher, to be able to evaluate, when is it time for me to switch gears in my life. There are many times where we're so busy that we ignore ourselves. We are not there for ourselves. We're not caring for ourselves as we should, as part of our self-care and personal growth. We're not caring for ourselves, and that's when we require an evaluation, some balance, and time for a reset, to hit that pause button in our life. And that's so important, to hit the pause, because we will drop everything for everybody else, but will we do the same thing for ourselves? That's something for us to meditate on. Would you do the same things for yourself that you do for other people? Most of the time, it's not balanced, and that is the reason why we need to evaluate. We need to take a, you know, make a tally, write a list. What are the pros and cons in my life? How am I treating myself? Am I happy on a scale of 1 to 10? All of those things are very important for us to not only be mentally and emotionally okay, but also for how we feel in our spirit, you know, because when our spirits are low, when we're not feeling our best, we don't feel at peace. It affects how we show up in this life, how we show up in our other relationships with the people that we care about. Okay, let's go to point number 3. So point number 3 in knowing your personal value is we have to think about where we're going, the direction of our life. And that is something that I had to learn. I had to come to that space in my life. I had to learn that I can't let other people direct my life. It depends on what is your spiritual belief. But for me, I had to get back on track with stop following what other people want me to do, what we think about social media and friends. And most of us really do give other people too much power over our mind, over our decisions, over our confidence. And we allow their worries, their projections, their judgments, their support or lack of support to really affect us. And that is the reason why we all require balance. We all require that balance and to make evaluations. Am I treating myself in a good way? Am I spending time with myself? Am I using my gifts? Do I have peace in my life? That's really important in knowing your personal value. Oh, hi, Colton. How are you doing? Welcome. That's so important in knowing your personal value. And if we don't know our personal value, it's going to be very, very frustrating for us. And it's going to frustrate other people. You'll snap at other people. And the thing about it is, if we don't have confidence, it's going to be seen. You know, people know who to use, who to run over, who to disrespect, who they can control just like a puppet on a string. So once you are introduced in knowing your own value, you're going to walk different. You're going to walk with your head up. Not that we are immune to people disrespecting us or hurting our feelings, because we're not robots. But at the same time, we know that other people's opinions, they're free to have them, just like we're free to have our own opinions. But we can't let other people's opinions dominate our life. And that is something that I'm still on the journey. And I'm sure many of my motivators family are on that journey as well, in learning how to treat themselves as a valuable person, regardless of who is in our life. And, you know, I've been through lots of these in my life for the people that I give to and I pour into them and I love them and support them. And when it's not reciprocated, it does hurt our feelings. It does make us feel like we may have wasted our time. But that is the reason why I wanted to have this conversation to talk about value, that even if other people, they act up, they disrespect, they don't support, they're jealous, whatever the case may be in your particular life right now, we can always work on the way we think about ourselves and having healthy self-esteem, not being egotistical and thinking we're the best person in the entire world, but being confident to know that, you know, I'm loved, I'm important, I respect myself, and I can do great things. It's important to have that inside for us to not feel like we're worthless, we're nothing. Maybe sometimes people in our lives will make us feel that way because of the way they treat us, and that's not okay. But at the same time, when you work on that relationship with yourself, then you know even if you may not appreciate me, even if you may not see my value, even if you may not esteem me and support me and like me and whatever, but I support myself. So I wanted to have this conversation to say to all of my motivators family, regardless of what you're going through right now in your life, if you're carrying some heavy weights and burdens you're going through, right? That you're not alone, that there is support. There are other people that care about you. And this helps me so much when I'm going through things. We all go through those times where we feel like nobody cares about us and we're discarded and we're irrelevant and nobody sees or hears me. But the thing is, we have to get ourselves back balanced, because toxic people who drain, strain, manipulate, hurt, backstab, do all of those things to us, it can get you off track. It can off track your thoughts. But you got to get back on track and remind yourself of who you are and what you're worth and what you have been through, and that you are important and special, even if they may not see that inside of you. So just a gentle reminder. It's important to have these reminders to remind our mind, to remind ourselves, to pat ourselves on the back, that maybe other people may not like us or support us or are there for us, but remembering that we're there for ourselves and we have been through things before you even knew them. So just like you got through those things, you will definitely get through this. Who is that? Realist? Hey, Realist, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday. Just like you have got through other things in your life, you will get through this. The saying, this too shall pass. Yes. And sometimes the things that has to pass is for us to feel like we have to keep taking what we keep taking, and you don't. That's something that it's a learned behavior. A lot of times we accept things that we shouldn't. We allow people to run over us because we don't speak up for ourselves, because we have not set boundaries, because we feel that we don't want to say anything, we don't want to disrupt things. But if somebody does not care about you, they don't care about hurting your feelings. They don't care about, the no-showing, ghosting you, disrespecting you, not valuing, not communicating with you, and all of those things, then why should you care about living your life to your best ability? And when you value yourself, is something that you have to constantly remind yourself, because I'm valuable, okay? Because I'm worth it, okay? Because I can do great things, because I have been through certain things, that I deserve to live. I deserve to have peace. I deserve to be happy. And those are affirmations that we need to remind ourselves. Like I will always say, I'll say it today, tomorrow, and for 1,000 years. We have to keep reminding ourselves and being confident and holding our head up, even when it's looking kind of gloomy, bleak, dark, ominous, right? You have to keep your head up, because you know that what is ahead is something good, better than what you have right now. See, it's all about our outlook and seeing in the future. Better is coming. Maybe the people around you right now don't appreciate you, don't support you, don't like you, whatever. They don't value you. They don't see you as somebody important, or because they have been used to you maybe not speaking up and sharing how you feel about things, that they kind of discard you like, whatever. I can do whatever to them. And people really do that and hurt us, and it does not feel good. It doesn't feel good to be discarded. It doesn't feel good to not be appreciated. And every woman and every man needs to have people in their life that will affirm, will support, will validate. And if they don't, we have to ask ourselves, why do I keep them in my life, right? So when we value ourselves, I think I'm on 3.3 or point 0.4, I'm not sure. But when we value ourselves, we will be very careful, we'll be cognizant of who we allow to be in our life. When you value yourself, you're not going to just let anybody into your mind and your heart. You're not going to allow just anybody to know your business and to share your personal thoughts and your dreams. Those are to those who have trust, that you can trust, those who have been loyal, those who show that they're really here for you and not just to be nosy, not to just be in your business because they want to know what you have going on. So that's something that, it may take time for us to get to that space, but it's well worth the effort and the energy and the inner work, working on our inside to say that I deserve this. And if somebody cannot give that to me, I give myself the permission to let go of them, to release them. Some people come into our life for different reasons and different seasons, and sometimes that season has been over. They were here to teach you something. It's all about your perspective. I used to always think, why do they keep hurting me? No, the real question is, why do you keep letting them hurt you? Why do you keep allowing them to be in your life when it's time for you to let them go? But that's for each and every woman or man, each motivators, my motivators family, to make the choice to say, it's time for me to move on. That is part of knowing your value, motivators family. Knowing your value enough to say, I deserve better than this. Or why am I settling? Okay? So don't. Okay? We only have one more point here that we're going to talk about. And in knowing your value, because you know your value requires action. When you are a bright light, when there's something that you're very good at, whatever. For example, maybe you're an amazing artist. You could be a painter. You could be a singer. You could be a poet. Whatever it is your craft, right? Whatever it is that you are good at. Because having value, having talents, it requires that you use it, that you step into it and be that, and to not be afraid, and to stop caring about other people and their judgments about our talents. As long as you know that you are talented and you're good at something and you're doing the best that you can, that's always good enough. See, sometimes we get wrapped up in waiting for other people to say, you're good at that, or I'm proud of you, you're doing a good job. But some people don't have that inside of them. So us waiting for that is an unreasonable expectation. It's very stressful. We stress ourselves out. We give ourselves all of these issues. But when we discern, having that discernment, having the insight, and paying attention to people's energy, paying attention to people's actions affects our actions too. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When you are around individuals that don't do the right thing, they don't like themselves, actually, they hate themselves, they treat themselves and they treat other people terribly. They're always blaming other people for what they do. So keeping people like that in our life that don't respect boundaries, don't respect themselves, and are not accountable, it's not good for us. It's not going to help us, motivators family, to sharpen our skills, to have peace in our life, to be able to have certain things, because having toxic people in our life is just going to lessen the amount of things that we have. It's going to hold us back from our peace of mind. It's going to hold us back from our blessings, and we don't deserve that. So I wanted to say this, and the last thing that I want to bring out about, knowing your value is that Don't let other people stop you from taking action. And this is where the word of caution comes in. I want to caution you guys to make sure that you're not sharing everything with everybody. You know, some people's their mouth is leaky. They're a reporter. As soon as they hear something, they're like, "Ooh, let me tell her. Hey, did you hear about this? Hey, did you?" You know, they're run off to go and spread your business. There's so much people that are reporters in our life. They can't keep their mouth shut. So, like I always say, you know, you have to mind your business, yours, you, not other people, not what they want, not what they like, but you have to meditate about your life and ask yourself all of the questions. What do I want in my life? Am I at peace? Is there joy? Am I living my life the way that I deserve to be? Do I value myself? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going to have enough courage to be who I am meant to be. See, that is living your life with purpose, and that's acting like you love yourself. See, with value comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes actions, and with actions comes purpose. And there is nothing better in this life than to walk in life with purpose and to have joy. Like we each deserve to have joy, okay? And I want you all to have as much joy and as peace as possible, but it means it's up to us. Not up to who you're in a relationship with, not up to your relatives, not up to friends, not up to social media. It's up to us. And also never forgetting to align that with your spirituality and keeping yourself balanced and focused, centered on what is good for us, because a lot of times we'll be distracted by looking to the left or the right and feeling that, oh, but this person is doing that and look at what they have. What is theirs, and what is yours is yours. You got to step into that and appreciate what you personally have. And anything that you don't like in your life, having enough confidence, having enough courage, being honest and self-aware enough to say, I'm going to change what I don't like. And if I can't change it, then I'm going to be happy with what I have. Personal satisfaction, self-joy, there's nothing like it. It's a gift. It's a blessing in itself to be able to be happy with yourself. Hold your head up, Motivators family. Don't hold your head down. Smile, have joy, and respect yourself. Okay? And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This has been the Tuesday lunch break motivation, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in to this discussion. I appreciate every single one of my channel members. Shout out to my mods, shout out to the channel members, shout out to everybody who is new here. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn it to all so you won't miss when I go live. I upload new videos, premieres, or shorts on this channel. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Marlene Motivates, your life coach. I appreciate you guys. Hold your head up, be confident, and you know what we say over here. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.